Very good afternoon. Hope my voice is audible. Yes. So I'm even keeping a tab on students who are on YouTube live as well, so you can comment there as well. So possibly I'll try to answer your questions if you are commenting who are joined on live as well. Okay. So let's look into the detailed or let's look into the various topics that we have seen in the last week. Okay, good afternoon, Gana. Okay. Um, as usual, we'll start with polity, some of the polity topics. So Article 30 was in news. So when we speak of this, let's look into the headlines directly. But meanwhile, you can also tell me what is this article all about and what is it related to. If you see the headline, you'll get to know. I just want the right answer wherein what kind of provision Article 30 provides. So in the news recently, the Supreme Court recently attempted to strike a balance by remarking that the intent of Article 30 of the Constitution was not to ghettoize minorities, ghettoize in the sense segregate the minorities by insisting that they had the upper hand in administration of the institution. Now it has a background, it has a narrative. It is not that out of the blue Supreme Court speaks about Article 30. There is a case going on, yet the discussions are happening regarding which university we are talking about. Have you come across this news recently? Which is the university, which is that minority institution, which is in news as of now? Can anyone tell me? This is not only a polity topic, but also from the historical perspective, you might have to revisit your static part in history. Aligarh Muslim University. Heard of it? Can you tell me the precursors or when it was established? Who is the person associated or who was the person associated with it? Yes. I'm like going, trying to be present in both YouTube as well as Zoom. So I want you to be interactive, or else it will be just like a news report to you, right? So Aligarh Muslim University. This is in news now. That is what we are going to talk today, right? So can you give me your inputs regarding this university from the historical perspective, if you have heard about it? Yes. Okay. So let me explain the news first. Meanwhile, you can answer. So Aligarh Muslim University Old Boys Association Council, Kapil Sibal, Mr. Kapil Sibal, he's been advocating case for them. And on the other side, there was a petition, there was a case filed, wherein in this particular institution or this particular organization or the university we are talking about, whether it is a minority institution or not, whether it should be given recognition or not. So which community it has been established? There were a couple of questions asked on it. So invoking Article 30, defining the concept of minorities, and also establishing the provision of Article 30 is all about the news now. Okay. So in Article 30, or even if you consider 29, Article 29 and 30 is associated with the term minority. If I may ask you, is the concept or the word minority is being defined in the Constitution? Is it defined? I do not get any answers today. You're just settling down. Yes, no, good. So we do not have definition of the word minority. Yes, okay. But there is a mention of the word. Okay, let me take you to the background of this meanwhile. or let us understand this, what is Article 30, then I'll explain the news. So Article 30 is one of the many provisions that ensure the preservation of minority rights. Article 30 of the Indian Constitution states the right of the minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. So the very idea of this article is to provide, it is a provision for minorities to establish and administer education institutions. So now we are referring to Aligarh Muslim University. So Aligarh Muslim University is not the recent one, it is one of the oldest, we can say, it is one of the oldest university. And continuing this point, the article says all minorities, whether based on religion or language, remember the minority in the constitution refers to religious minority and linguistic minority. These are the two aspects mentioned here, religious and linguistic minority. So they shall have the right to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. This is the provision given for them. So does it come under part 3 of the Constitution? Article 30. Yes? No? Yes? Article 30. Is it a fundamental right for the minorities to establish and administer education institutions? No answer. It's not a fundamental right. Okay. It was adopted on December 8, 1948. This article we are talking about. So Article 30, Section 1, Clause 1 says that all minorities, whether based on religion or language, shall have the right to establish and administer education institutions of their choice. This is the thing. Okay. This has been invoked. This is part of the news. So we have to look into it. Now, what is the background of this entire story? I mean, the narrative that is happening. Now, this there was a, as I told you already, the case was filed, and the speaking of which, wherein AMU Old Boys Association Council, Kapil Sibal has been, he has explained that the minority status of an educational institution is inseparable from its foundational effort. So, who made the attempt to establish the predecessor situation, which community collected the funds, which community persuaded the government to establish it. All these are the topics when we see, he said that this Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College, which was, this was what it was called as, was converted to lock, stock and barrel into AMU. It was previously called as Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College, if you can recollect some of the points. So this, for which the required rupees 30 lakh funds as reserve funds were collected by the Muslim community, which again was instrumental in requesting British government. That means pre-independence time we are talking about, the establishment of the university, British government to establish the university for providing education to the students of the Muslim community. So who is that person? I repeat my question. Who is that person associated with Aligarh Muslim University? The question stands there. You can answer. So the CJI-led bench, Chief Justice of India, it was also, he also mentioned that, or the bench said that it was difficult to say that AMU's, that is Aligarh Muslims University, governance was in the hands of only minorities. We cannot say that. It is not only in the hands of the minorities, only wherein, if you see the board members, according to the fact, out of 180 members in the board, 37, only 37 members were Muslim, rest all are from different backgrounds, religious backgrounds. This is one of the facts. Because of the allegations, this narratives is going on. So it was also, when we speak of appreciating Kapil Sibal's arguments, it is about the Supreme Court order, the discussion we are talking about. So argument that if minority character of the administration is made essential for any organization, if there is a necessity, that is a requirement saying that a minority institution matra join ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದ್ದರೆ for granting, ನಾವು minority status ನ grant ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಈಗ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದರಲ್ಲೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಸೆಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ನೆವರ್ ಅ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ವೆರ್ from this community. It is not only about we are talking about the Muslim university. We have minorities in India, right? How many minorities are there in India? Okay, we will see that the basic aspect of it. So for them also, it is like it is very difficult establishing institutions such as medicine, engineering, and law and all that. It will have to take an approval from the different regulatory bodies, because these people need a backup. Whenever we say minority, of course, it is left to the relative discussions and the opinions of yours. Not everybody accepts this thought because we have our own ideologies and thoughts or opinions. Coming out of it, and we are just talking about the Supreme Court's order here. So if at all a minority or a group has to establish such institution, then they will have to go to a different regulatory body which are not minority in character. This is to back up, this is to support them. That is why this provision is brought in. So that would totally nullify the very idea of this article, is what the argument is all about. So the bench has said that object of Article 30 is not to ghettoize, as it is given here, ghettoize or to separate the community. It is that AMU Act itself has given an idea. It is a non-minority majority, non-minority majority in the sense, in the governing body, apart from minorities, there are other people also in the governing body. So how it will be biased, or how it should be questioned in terms of governance, in terms of administration? That is the question asked by the bench now. So this is, as of now, the arguments would resume in the coming days, and we need not worry about what would happen. Basically, when it comes to such issues, there can be n number of petitions that would come up like this. So we should be aware of these topics, but we go back to the static part. Adralliruvanತ static part ಏನು? Textual ಆಗಿ ನೀವೇನು ಓದ್ಕೊಬೇಕು? Article 30, Article 29. And what is minority? Who comes under minority? What are the two types of minority mentioned in the constitution? ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so this is for the reason we are looking into it. So key points we have already looked into. So concept of minorities. It's about it. Okay, uses the word minority. Article 29, hope it is clear. Article 29 uses the word minority in its marginal heading, but it speaks about any section of the citizens inhabiting the territory of India or any part of the country should have the right to protect their language or script or culture which is different and varied. Idanna ನಾವು 29 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. 29 ಮತ್ತು 30 minority ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತೆ, but minority definition ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. Any section of the citizens ನ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಇದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಅಂತ ಎಂದಿದೆ. ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 30 ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 30 ಟಾಕ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ರಿಲಿಜಿಯಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಿಂಗ್ವಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಮೈನಾರಿಟೀಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ಲಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ರಿಲಿಜಿಯಸ್ ಈಗ ಎರಡು ತರ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, ರಿಲಿಜಿಯಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲಿಂಗ್ವಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, ರಿಲಿಜಿಯಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? The basic ground for a community to be nominated as a religious minority is the numerical strength of the community. Population ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಆ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಜನರು ಬೇರೆ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ಗೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಆರ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ರಿಲಿಜಿಯಸ್ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಓವರ್ ಅ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾವು ಈ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಎವಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 2 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈನಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ಸ್ 6 communities as minority communities. ಇದನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay, these are the ones who come under. These are very basics. I'm not saying that this would be the direct questions asked in the exam, but when you know this foundational aspect, that would help you understand the advanced topics. Okay, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Sikhs, Jains, and Parsis are identified. I know most of you know it already, but just brushing up the topic again. This is about the religious minority, religious basis mele. Linguistic minorities andre yaru? The class or group of people whose mother language or mother tongue is different from that of the majority group is known as the linguistic minorities, according to the, not the exact definition, but understanding the evolving definition we can say. Apart from this, idanna bittu ee minority 2930 ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 350A of the Indian Constitution ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ imposes an obligation on the states to try to provide enough facilities for instruction in the mother language or mother tongue at the primary level of education to children belonging to the linguistic minority community. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ in India any section wherein ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮದರ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 350A ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಮೈನಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಅಂಶ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ the takeaway from this news is there are two aspects. ಒಂದು minority ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು Aligarh Muslim University ಬಗ್ಗೆ. So who established this university by then? Who is the person? Can I get answers? Who established Aligarh Muslim University? See, I think I have explained the news now. That is, last 100 years in the Aligarh Muslim University has continued to be an institute of national importance without the minority tag. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಹೌದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದೊಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ Aligarh Muslim University basically it is a government education institution as of now which is situated in Uttar Pradesh. Aligarh allide. So it was originally established by a social reformer, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was the person who established this university, right? This is what I asked. Nobody answered, or I don't know whether you are answering on YouTube. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan established, which was called as, before it was called as Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. It was established in the year 1875. Remember these events, remember the personalities, names, okay? Yes. So it happened, if you see the year 1875, it was after 1857. What happened in 1857? Indian War of Independence. 1857, Indian War of Independence. The college was built so that Sir Syed Ahmad Khan thought that it was very important for the Muslims to have some gain education and become involved in public life and government services. High time, because the literacy was really low. So this was the condition wherein he wanted to bring the community wherein they were lagging behind. That was the main intention, which is historically given. So Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College then became AMU in the year 1920. That is also before independence. That means I just told you that British funded this for their own benefits, we might say, because we have this concept of divide and rule policy. That could be also one of the reasons. But apart from that, it has purely maintained its quality, or maybe the very idea or the objective of the university is to provide education. Maybe initially this was the idea, but doesn't mean that it was exclusively for the minorities. That is not there. So from its very inception, from the beginning itself, it was open to all members. But because of only the objective wherein Muslims has to study, this was also being mentioned there. So AMU is recognized under UGC also as of now, today, till these many years. And it offers various courses in various traditional and modern branches also. And also it has 3 off-campus. Apart from Uttar Pradesh, it also have other campuses in such as Kerala, in West Bengal and Bihar. 3 campuses off-campus are also there. So again, coming back to this, the takeaway from this news is minorities. The word is not being defined. Okay. Then Aligarh Muslim University, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, his contribution. So this is the combination of what we can say quality as well as history. Okay. So apart from that, from the historical perspective, this week we also had one of the controversial, or one of the narratives saying that some people had petitioned a fight saying that Subhash, that is political, but yet historical personality, we can say, Subhash Chandra Bose. It was regarding Subhash Chandra Bose, wherein some people had filed a petition to the government or asking government to call Subhash Chandra Bose as son of the nation. We are father of the nation, so they wanted son of the nation. So Supreme Court dismissed the plea as per the report, saying that we don't have to tag people. Subhash Chandra Bose is very much alive with the spirits of the nationalism, or even today. So we need not tag just because of the political remarks. That was the plea that was dismissed. Still, again, you can also look into Subhash Chandra Bose's contribution to Indian freedom struggle. That is how it works, right? Let it be any controversial aspect, just look into the static part of it. Now we will move on to art and culture. The Sohrai painting or Sohrai painting was recently in news. As part of art and culture, maybe certain questions can be asked, certain terminologies, or maybe match the pace, or maybe asking to check the statements whether they are correct or not. Such patterns can be asked. So the news is regarding remote Bengal village to begin New Year with workshop on ancient indigenous art. So it's a very old art where it is practiced. We will see that basic details. So people of Konedoba in West Bengal are being taught various art forms since August last year, and they have been even started beautifying their houses. So already there was painting workshops that was going on, but this Sohrai painting is not the new one. It is a very ancient practice. Especially it is practiced in states of Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal, Eastern India. So Sohrai painting is prominent in Eastern India. That should be the takeaway here. Okay. So let's look into the features, key features. This is how it looks like. Sohrai painting is a mural art form. What is mural art form? Which is painted on the walls, right? Which is painted on the walls. So okay, one of you have answered on YouTube. Fine. So it is an indigenous mural art form. Mural art form in the sense, mural painting is done on walls. It is mural. Okay, you can see the image here. So it is also interesting to note that the word sorai comes from soro, translating to drive with a stick. To drive with the stick, it is called a sorai. It's from the Eastern India. So the ISCO rock shelter. This also you can keep in mind. One more key point, you got it, like rock shelters. Many questions, different places, rock shelters questions are asked. Okay, ISCO, ISKO, ISCO rock shelter excavated in Barkagaon, Hazaribagh area also has rock paintings that are exactly similar to the traditional Sohrai paintings. In this region also, Hazaribagh area, that is in the again Chota Nagpur in the Eastern India, we have a rock shelter. Similar paintings we have. That is why we call it as ancient painting. These ancient paintings are made by Adivasi women with the natural substances like charcoal, clay, or soil. Usually, if it is done by the tribal people, the motifs, what we call the patterns in the painting, would be nature inspired. So the very primitive form of Sohrai art was in the form of cave paintings before. Actually, the very ancient or the earliest evidence what we have is cave paintings, but today it has turned into mural art form. It is practiced by indigenous communities, particularly in the state of Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, and West Bengal. Remember the names. The region of Hazaribagh in Jharkhand that has received the GI tag for this art form also. So Sohrai art form has also received GI tag. That is only in Jharkhand, not in other states. Okay, we know that GI tag means though it is present in multiple states, doesn't mean that in one place it is GI tag, doesn't mean that in other place we'll be getting it. So it is only in Jharkhand. Okay, it has also GI tag. Then it is the art of the women of the Kurmi, Santal, Munda, Orang, Agaria, Gathwal tribes. So from this you are also being introduced to various names of the tribes of the Eastern India. Kurmi tribe, Santal rebellion, you might have heard about it. Munda rebellion, Oraon, Agaria, Gathwal tribes. All these are from the Eastern India. This is part of their culture. So they use vibrant colors, intricate patterns, symbolic motifs. There is a Sohrai festival held every year, marking the harvest season and arrival of winter. During the arrival of winter, this is what they do. So we can understand the culture of the people here from the ancient times, especially the farming communities, primitive tribes and all that. During the harvest season, after harvest season, maybe even in villages also we follow this. In every Indian villages, after harvest season, it is a leisure time. During leisure, what would they do? They entertain themselves or they take a break. That is when this art form came into being. Most of the art forms are like that. Cave, it is one such thing, and mural art, if you take in Odisha especially, Odisha is also known for highest number of PVTG, right? We have discussed about it. So PVTGs, so this is part and parcel of their life. So here the takeaway should be, remember the name of the art form. It is a mural art form which is painted on the wall, and these are the key factors. Okay. Moving on to the next one, it is also part of art and culture. Bobbili Veena. Bobbili Veena was recently in news. It was also in news from past 1 year for a reason. That is, last year it was like prominently seen because a couple months back, or it's last year, 2023. So G20 meeting was held. During G20 meeting, the dignitaries or who attended this meeting from various countries, they were given this miniature of this veena. You can see the smaller ones, small or even this bit smaller one, miniature as a token of a symbol of goodwill and all that. But today, again, it is in the news because the craftsmen struggle for their livelihood. This is not the very first time we see this. Every year, there will be such news regarding some art forms. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು art form ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, patronage ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನಾವೇನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಈ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀಜನ್ ಇಂದ, ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್. Obviously, that is what you'll be learning in art and culture, correct? So we apply this to what you call current affairs. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೊಬ್ಬಿಲಿ ವೀಣಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್, ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ನೀವು ಆರ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಇಂದ ನೀವೇನ್ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಓದ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. That is how we connect. Okay, ಎರಡು separate ಅಲ್ಲ, static current affairs separate ಅಲ್ಲ. By now you will be knowing this. Okay, the news is, despite the long-standing fame of the Bobbili Veena, the livelihoods of craftsmen face challenges due to a lack of demand from the public and required patronage from the government. That is the news. Lack of promotion or patronage from the government illa ee craftsmen ge anta, because it is one of the very old what do you call as instrument, and also the artisans come from the king's time or pre-independence time. So the kings of Bobbili, known for their love of music, actively encouraged artisans and musicians in their court. The name of the veena is called as Bobbili Veena because it comes from a particular place in Andhra, so it is called as Bobbili. So Bobbili Veena got worldwide recognition when Veena was displayed at an exhibition held in New Delhi in 1919. As I told you, it is pre-independence time as well. That is when the recognition came into being because of its intricate design and its quality and all that. Iga idu news. So we will see the key points. So that it is a traditional Saraswati Veena anta karitivi. The goddess Saraswati holds this veena, so that's why it is called as Saraswati Veena. From Bobbili is famed for its fine tune and distinctive notes. ಅದು ಫೇಮಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದೇ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಟ್ಯೂನ್, ಅದು ಏನು ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದು ಯುನಿಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಪ್ಲಕ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್. ಹಿಂದೂಸ್ತಾನಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ನಾಟಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ದ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವೀಣಾ ಬಿಗ್ಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ ದ 17th century. I'll just zoom it so they can see. The making of veena began in 17th century during the reign of Pedda Rayadu, the king of Bobbili Samsthanam. A small province was in Andhra Pradesh called as Bobbili. Bobbili Samsthanam is province. So Pedda Rayadu was the king. He was the great patron of music. So what do you call as promoted these artisans to make veena out of what we will see. So these veenas are painstakingly crafted from jackwood tree, not any other tree, jackwood tree logs in Gollapalli, a town in Bobbili. which is in Andhra Pradesh. So direct connection. Bobbili, Andhra Pradesh. It is a veena. Okay. Jackwood is preferred as it is light and the unique grain of the wood renders the quality of swara or tone. Just remember, idralli enantandre jackwood tree inda madidare. A single piece of wood, idu entire veena ನೀವೇನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಒಂದೇ piece of wood ಇಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. It is not the fragmented one piece of wood. That is why it is also called as ekandi veena. Ekandi veena ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು log ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. With their origin dating back to 17th century, these veenas are played in distinctive style, which has also led to coinage of Bobbili veena sampradayam ಅಂತಾನು ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಆ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆ ನೋಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಾರಿ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ Bobbili veena sampradayam ಅಂತ. And also it has GI tag long back in 2012. ಇಷ್ಟು ಅದರದ್ದು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡೇ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ there are many points, but I have filtered it out and brought out the apt one which you can remember easily as well. So let's not take a chance of anything. This has already been twice, it's been in the news, so that's why I took it up. Okay, as I've already told you, G20 leaders yaru bandidru, avrigunu ಒಂದು miniature gift ಅಂತ India ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ to exhibit. But what happened now, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ patronage ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದೆ. Okay, moving on to governance. Project Veer Gatha or Katha or Gatha anta helbodu. So the third edition of Project Veer Gatha as part of the Republic Day celebrations has witnessed an overwhelming pan-India response. Innu Republic Day celebration prayukta certain programs or campaigns athwa competitions alla ittirtare school makkaligagirbadu bereyavarge. So aduttu part idu. Okay, so students have taken part as of now. Idra ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ Project Veer Gatha is nothing but you can say it is under Ministry of Defense. Adralle irutte ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, you should be knowing it because Project Veer Gatha, it is under governance topic ಆದ್ರೂನು ಇದನ್ನ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಯಾವುದು, Ministry of Defense. ಯಾಕೆ ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the name itself suggests Veer. So it introduced a range of thought provoking topics for essay and paragraph writing. ಇದು ಒಂದು essay ಮತ್ತು paragraph writing competition ಇತ್ತು. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ students were given the option to explore themes such as their chosen role model, particularly focusing on gallantry award winners. ಈಗ gallantry award winners ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What do you understand by gallantry award winners? ವೀರ್ ಚಕ್ರ, ಪರಮವೀರ್ ಚಕ್ರ, ಅಶೋಕ್ ಚಕ್ರ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು? So on them to write certain essays, to write essays on them, or what do you call as paragraph writing. All these competitions were held. So here the takeaway should be the name of the project and under which ministry it is being conducted. Okay, so that is what. So these are some of the key points. A part of governance you can consider it. So it is a joint initiative. It is a joint initiative of the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Education. The news is from the Ministry of Defense, but it is also because it is for the school children. That's why. So it was instituted under Gallantry Awards portal in 2021. So this is the third edition. Okay. So with the aim to disseminate the details of acts of bravery of the Gallantry awardees and the life stories of these brave hearts among the students, so as to raise the spirit of patriotism and instill amongst them values of civic consciousness. So why this is done? So that children would know various personalities, their details of acts of bravery they have taken up, those who have been awarded, and consider to make them as their role model. So to promote them, to instill such consciousness, civil consciousness, such values in children. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So Project Veer deepened this noble aim by providing a platform to the school students to do creative projects, activities based on Gallantry Award winners. The takeaway should be also, nimge idea irbeku, Paramveer Chakra, Veer Chakra, the insignia, the order. Okay, the highest would be Paramveer Chakra alva. So awards ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು idea irbeku. These are very rudimentary. Again, I am repeating, when you know the rudimentary or fundamental aspects, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ as part of this, the students framed different projects through various media like art poems, essays, and multimedia on this gallantry award winners, and best projects were awarded at national level. So as a part of Republic Day, idanna madidare. Out of the blue, if there is a question on Project Veer Gata, remember the takeaway, the sum up would be two ministries, Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Education. It is for the school children, a competition or a program that is being conducted to instill the civil consciousness with respect to the gallantry award winners. Okay, the personalities. That is what. Then moving on to Indian economy. The next one, zero effect, zero defect scheme is related to what? We will see that. So in news, the zero effect, zero defect scheme by the MSME, medium small scale industries ministry, has achieved the 1 lakh certification milestone, the ministry said recently. Okay, MSME. So launched in October 2016. This program is not the recent one. It is only certification sikkide anta eni scheme anta nodona. So launched in October 2016 and revamped in April 2022. Again, it was brought back. The Z scheme anta karitive, zero effect, zero defect, offers certification for environmentally conscious manufacturing under 3 certification levels: gold, silver, bronze. Andre companies, ಈ MSME companies ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, medium and small scale industries ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So ಇವರು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಸ್ಟೈನೇಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಬ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ, ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ದರ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ. ಈ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ನ ನಾವು zero effect and zero defect scheme ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So it is classified according to 20 performance-based parameters such as quality management, timely delivery, process control, waste management, etc. So this is all to promote. Even this concept you can actually bring in if there is any news regarding, or sorry, questions regarding climate change and economical perspective in the ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ 1 lakh certification ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ how many companies you can understand, right? Many companies are moving or becoming environmentally conscious. That's what we are looking into it. So key points. What is the major objective here? To create proper awareness in MSMEs about Z manufacturing and motivate them for assessment of their enterprise for a Z rating. To drive manufacturing with the adoption zero defect production process without impacting the environment. To encourage MSMEs to constantly upgrade their quality standards in production process. To support the Make India campaign. So the certification is valid for 3 years. Puna adad nantara puna inspection agutte, aamele puna certificates kodtare. So that is gold, silver, bronze. Currently the scheme is applicable for manufacturing MSME only. Only manufacturing units matra, service industries illa. Manufacturing ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಟೈಮ್ಲಿ ಡೆಲಿವರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್, ಇದನ್ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ತರನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ MSME is all about. And MSME Z certification is all about. ಒಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ zero defect, zero effect, zero defect ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಕೆಳಗೆನೂ ಹಾಕೋಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಗವರ್ನೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಅಂತಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, governance topic. Next is part of both geography as well as environment, that is rock glaciers. Recycling is also part of it. Manufacturing units ಗೆ ಇದೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೇನು ಇಲ್ಲ. Say they have their different manufacturing processes, but ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. Recycling is also part of it. And moreover, ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಅದೊಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, MOEFCC ಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ? ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್, ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್. ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಏನಂತ? EPR ಅಂತ. ಎಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ನಾವು ಸೆಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೇ ಬೇರೆ, ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. So rock glaciers, next topic is rock glaciers. Now this news was in down to earth. You can consider this as geography as well as environment topic. So over 100 active permafrost structures identified in Jhelum basin can cause catastrophic disasters in future ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಡಿ, ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. permafrost ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೀವ ನಾವು. Have we discussed permafrost? What is permafrost? ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡಲ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. permafrost, permanently frozen soil. Permafrost refers to permanently frozen soil. So over 100 active permafrost structures identified in Jhelum basin, Kashmir ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಯಾವುದು permafrost active, yes, frozen soil ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮುಂದೆ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇದೆ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಯಾತಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಏನು ವಿಷಯ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, so the Kashmir Himalayas are dotted with permafrost structures called rock glaciers with significant ice volumes within a steady mapped. First of all, permafrost annadhenantandre usually we attribute it to Arctic region. Arctic region alli iruvanta soil is iruvanta soil permanently frozen agide. It is permanently frozen, yes, which includes dead biomass. Correct, dead biomass or dead organic matter ide. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅನ್ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸ್ಡ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, permafrost holds this carbon. So once the decomposition happens, what happens? Yes, emission of methane, emission of carbon dioxide. It would even worsen the condition of global warming. That is why we are concerned about permafrost in Arctic. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ Arctic is the major polar cap ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಹಂಗಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಐಸ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ permafrost ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ, we have it. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಹಿಮಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ permafrost. Remember, permafrost is seen or permafrost is present wherever we call it as cryosphere ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Cryosphere ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, the definition of cryosphere is the ice covered or snow covered regions on earth is cryosphere. Whether it is on the mountain, whether it is in the cold desert, anywhere, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ cryosphere ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Okay, just remember this word. So ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್ ಹಿಮಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಈ permafrost ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಗೆ ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಐಸ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್, ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಫ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ಡ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ರೈನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ರಫ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ, ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ. Okay, so more than 100 of these had ridges and bulges on their body, which indicates the permafrost in them has started moving or melting. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಲ್ಜ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಬಲ್ಜ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಊದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ permafrost ಏನು ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್, permafrost ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ, has started moving or melting. So these are called active glacial rocks and may contribute to natural disasters as region warms. ಈಗ ಈ ಹಿಮಾಲಯ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, it is subjected to global warming. So this would turn as active glacial, or already these are called as active glacial rocks. ಇದು ಇನ್ನು ಬರುವಂತ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ, ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್. Recent disaster in Sikkim, glacial lake outburst flood, right? Glacial lake outburst adu probably glacial lake. So this huge deposits of what you call as moraine or glacial moraine, adenaito, it started melting away. It got sedimented, or it ended up as sediment in the lake, and lake level, water level rose, and it ended up as flooding. ಸೊ ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, permafrost ಇದೆ, ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಇದೆ, ಈವನ್ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Okay, we will see some key points on rock glaciers. So this is a map. You can see ಈ ಬ್ಲೂ ಡಾಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು ರೆಡ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್. ರೆಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಡಾರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್. ಈ ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಜಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಪುಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಜೇಲಂ ಬೇಸಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಜೇಲಂ ಬೇಸಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ? ಅಗೇನ್ ಫಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫ್ಲಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. So what are rock glaciers? A rock glacier is a mass of rock, ice, snow, mud and water. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ನೋ, ಐಸ್, mud and water that move slowly down a mountain under the influence of gravity. So there is a moving glacier. Glacier ಅಂದ್ರೆ it moves ಅಲ್ವಾ, it is subjected to movement. So ಈ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಬರೀ ಐಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, mud ಇದೆ plus rocks ಇದೆ. So unlike an ice glacier, rock glaciers usually have very little ice visible at the surface. ಇದ್ರ ಬದಲು ಯಾವುದು ಐಸ್ ಬದಲು ರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. So the rock glacier might consist a mass of ice covered by rock debris, or it might consist of a mass of rock with interstitial ice. So it is a combination of rock glacier is a combination of rock and ice. So the formation ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ rock glaciers are typically formed in mountainous regions where there is a combination of permafrost already, soil ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ಲಿ, rock debris and ice. ನಮಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಮಗೆ permafrost ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು, permanently frozen soil ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಆ soil plus rock debris, literally rock ಅದು because it is in the mountain, ಮತ್ತು ice, ಇದರದ combination ಗೆ ನಾವು rock glacier ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. One common scenario involves a pre-existing glacier that accumulates debris and rock as it moves. ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ pre-existing glacier that accumulates debris and rock. ಇದು ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಏನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಡೆಬ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಾಕ್ಸ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Over time, if the glacier recedes or thaws, what is thawing mean? What do you understand by thawing? Thaw ಅಂದ್ರೆ melting away, ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವಂತದ್ದು. ಈಗ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ ಈಗ ಪುನಃ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ವಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್. Because of global warming, increasing temperature, if the glacier recedes or it melts away, the debris covered ice can transform into a rock glacier. ಇದೇನು ಡೆಬ್ರಿ ಆಗಿ ತುಂಬಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಒಂದು ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಅದು ಐಸ್ ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ರಾಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ ಅಂತ. So these are classified as active or a relict to indicate the status of permafrost within them, identified by the appearance of the rock surface. ಈ ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಂದೊಂದನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದೊಂದನ್ನ ರಿಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಮಾಫ್ರೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದರಿಂದ, ವೈ ಶುಡ್ ವಿ ಲರ್ನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದರ ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಕಾನ್ಸಿಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಸ್. It increases the risk of glacial lake outburst flood, as I've already told you. It may also make landslides more frequent with the land on the melting ice becomes loose. Ice ಮೇಲೆ ಐಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೋದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ನ ಈ ಮಣ್ಣನ್ನ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದೇ ಐಸ್ ಕರಗೋದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯಲ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಮೆಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಥಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಫ್ಲಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇದೆರಡು ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸೊ ದ ಟೇಕ್ ಅವೇ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ, ಪುನಃ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿವಿಸಿಟ್ ಪರ್ಮಾಫ್ರೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಓದ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ರಾಕ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ. ಓಕೆ, protected areas in news. So Eagle Nest Wildlife Sanctuary was in news. Okay, so somehow see all these weeks, every week one the protected areas kaltrunu, by the time you write exam, somehow some protected areas you'll be aware of, so it will help you out in your answer writing, correct? Or maybe in your prelims as well. So anyway, we will see the news. Researchers at the Indian Institute of Science, IAS in Bengaluru, have found that many bird species have started shifting to higher elevations due to rising temperature in Eagle Nest Wildlife Sanctuary. News ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ birds ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ impact ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, mountain birds ಮೇಲೆ. No, I'll tell you why it is Eagle Nest. and eagle nest is in Arunachal. We will complete that part. Okay, it is not for eagle nest for the eagles. First of all, Arunachal is known for its avian population. Okay, avian population and the birds. Wide variety of birds. Arunachal Pradesh iruvanta birds, one bird, not only in India, nowhere in the world. They are found. There are specific species like that. Arunachal is also known for hornbills also. Okay, it is the state bird as well. So, esto birds illi navu nodbodu. So, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ Arunachal is at the higher altitude. ಹೌದಾ? Foothills ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು eastern part of Himalayan region ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ it is also eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು Arunachal. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ because again global warming ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಆಲ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದು ಹೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದು ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಇನ್ನು ಮೇಲ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನು ಹೈಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಆಲ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ increases, temperature drops. They are adapted to low temperature. Now the temperature is increasing in Arunachal. This is the news. But we will be knowing the location of this. ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಬೇರೆ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay. So the IASC team collected data from the Eagle Nest Wildlife Sanctuary in Arunachal Pradesh, which is situated in the biodiversity hotspot of Eastern Himalayas and is home to 500 bird species. ಈ ಇರುವಂತ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೇನೆ 500 bird species ಇದೆ. ಅಷ್ಟು ರಿಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ biodiversity. So they studied the effects of forest logging, climate change on bird communities in tropical mountains by examining over 10 years of data. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಿರುವಂತ anthropogenic changes ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ tropical mountains, forest logging ಮತ್ತು climate change, mining ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, hydroelectric dams ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, infrastructures, connectivity, ಎಲ್ಲದಿಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ? Carbon emission, it is impacting the wild area. So this is the news. We will see the details about Eagle Nest. So, Eagle Nest Wildlife Sanctuary. It is the protected area of India in the Himalayan foothills of West Kameng. Why we should know every detailed part of every protected area? At least news ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. There was one question very long back. Which of the following protected areas fall in the alpine zone? Alpine zone ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Alpine zone is higher altitude where it is. What is alpine? Can you answer me? What is alpine? If you remember the biome, concept of biome, under tundra biome, we have discussed alpine tundra ecosystem and Arctic tundra. Alpine tundra andre enu? Forest on mountain athwa snow covered mountain? Alpine tundra is nothing but, yes, snow covered. Alpine tundra is nothing but in the higher altitude on the mountains, if it is snow covered, that region is called as alpine condition. So ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಂ, ಅರುಣಾಚಲ್, ಜಮ್ಮು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಇದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದೆ, ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲಿ ಈ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೆಂಚುರಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಅರೈವ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. It is a protected area of India in the Himalayan foothills of West Kameng district, Arunachal Pradesh. It conjoins Sessa Orchid Sanctuary. Tumba detailed aaytu, but one more very important tiger reserve ide illi, which has also been asked in prelims before. Pakkuvi Tiger Reserve ಅಥವಾ ಪಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಗರ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಓಲ್ಡ್ ನೇಮ್ ಪಕ್ಕೆ, Pakkuvi, both same. Pakke Tiger Reserve is also there along with this. It is situated in the biodiversity hotspot of Eastern Himalayas. Altitude ranges are extreme, that 500 meters to 3,250 meters, very high altitude. It is also part of Kameng Elephant Reserve ide ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿ ಹತ್ರ. Kameng Elephant Reserve, we have total 33 elephant reserves in India. One to Kameng Elephant Reserve. It is notable as prime birding site due to extraordinary variety, numbers, and accessibility of the species. It derives its name from, one of you asked, yak eagle nest eagle idya anta, from the Red Eagle Division of the Indian Army, which was posted in the area during 1950s. ರೆಡ್ ಈಗಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಆರ್ಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದರ ಹೆಸರು ಈಗಲ್ ನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಈಗಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ. ಫ್ಲೋರಾ, ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಟ್ ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್. ಟೆಂಪರೇಟ್ ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಟ್ರಾಪಿಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, is intermixed with dense bamboo patches, broad-leaved evergreen forest across a wide altitudinal range with coniferous and rhododendrons. Rhododendrons are also in Western Ghats. Remember this point. Rhododendrons are usually found at the higher elevation. Now Western Ghats alli nodidrunu same rhododendrons ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಿಮಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಅದು ಒಂದು NCERT ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. Why do we have rhododendrons in Western Ghats which are similar to Himalayan region? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಮಾಲಯನ್ ರೀಜನ್ ರೋಡೋಡೆಂಡ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಸಿಮಿಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇದೆ? ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೋಡೋಡೆಂಡ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಂಟೆಡ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟ್ರೆಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಚಿಕ್ಕಮಂಗ್ಳೂರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಬೆಟ್ಟ ಹತ್ತುವಂತ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ತುದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಆ ಮರಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಂಟೆಡ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕುಬ್ಜ ಅಂತ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ trees ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ plants ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, with flowering plants. These are called as rhododendrons. These are seen only in the higher altitude. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಮಾಲಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಆಲ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ rhododendrons. Okay, so fauna, we have capped langur, Royal Bengal tiger is also there here in this region. Asiatic elephant is there in Arunachal because we have a coming elephant reserve. Remember, red panda, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಡ್ ಪಾಂಡಾ ಎರಡೇ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಅರುಣಾಚಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಂ. ರೆಡ್ ಪಾಂಡಾ is the state animal of Sikkim. In India we have in Arunachal and Sikkim. Red pandas are classified into two: Indian red panda, Chinese red panda. Okay, so we have red panda. I'll show you. Asiatic black bear, you can see it here. Asiatic black bear we have seen in the previous session regarding this. There was a news. Arunachal macaque, that is again gaur, Indian gaur, the bison. All these are seen. So these are some of the clouded leopard. Clouded leopard add madabodu. We have red panda here. Red panda. Okay, various bird species. These are two birds. Tragopan, I believe. Asiatic black bear, and we have clouded leopard also. Macaques also. Capped langur monkeys. So it is known for its diversity, and today because of the global warming the birds are affected and they are moving on to the higher altitude because of excess heat. That's the news. Hope you got the idea of why it is called as eagle nest. Okay, next species in news, hog deer. Hog deer was recently in news. So in a first hog deer spotted inside Rajaji tiger reserve. Idralli neevu one species baggenu tilkoltira mattu protected areas baggenu tilkoltira. Okay, so speaking of, in a significant discovery, the hog deer has been spotted for the first time at the Rajaji Tiger Reserve. Where do we have this Rajaji Tiger Reserve? Only the Rajaji Tiger Reserve. Which state of India? Yes. Anybody is answering here? Okay, you can take your time and tell me. It has a native Uttarakhand. Yes, good. It has a native geographic range throughout India. I know you will be knowing the answers, most of you, but if you interact, I don't want to feel monotonous here. That's all. Okay. It has a native geographic range throughout India, including Himalayan foothill zone and Southeast Asia, including Burma and Thailand. Iga first Rajaji Tiger Reserve ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ hog deer. Hog deer ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, it has a native geographic range throughout India. LLA, Himalayan foothill zone, Southeast Asia, including Burma and Thailand. So it is able to thrive. It is a very flexible species. Adre Rajaji Tiger Reserve ಒಂದು mountainous region. Foothill adu. Usually these are found in the grasslands, marshy land and all that. But it has spotted after a very long time in Rajaji. Adike adu news. Humans also have tried introducing in free ranging population of these deer in Sri Lanka, Australia, United States. Ella kadenu ee species na introduce ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. It is flexible also. So it is not that it is very unusual, But Rajaji tiger reserve ali for the very first time it is spotted. So hog deer andre ನೀವು image ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದರ size ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಥವಾ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು. Okay, so Rajaji tiger reserve ಬಗ್ಗೆ some of it is gone anyway, no trouble. Basic information is there. So it is spread over 3 districts of Uttarakhand, Haridwar, Dehradun and Pauri Garhwal. It is situated along the hills and foothills of Shivalik range. Remember the alli naven nodidvi higher altitude region Shivalik range alli ಇದೆ Rajaji tiger reserve. In the year 1983, Rajaji Wildlife Sanctuary was merged with Motichur and Chilla Wildlife Sanctuary and made into Rajaji National Park, which was actually the wildlife sanctuary. It was upgraded. We have learned, or if you remember, a wildlife sanctuary can be upgraded to a national park. That is what happened here. So why it is called Yake Hesro Rajaji anta? Because it is named after the famous freedom fighter Rajagopalachari. That's why Rajaji. So its location in the transition zone between temperate western Himalaya and central Himalayan enhances the species diversity. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ semi-evergreen forest ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು, and it is also known for various tigers. So obviously for tigers it might matter. The hog deer population will act as a very good prey base if they thrive in here, and it is a welcoming news ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So we are understanding the location of this tiger reserve plus the hog deer. ಯಾಕೆ hog deer ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ in UPSC the question, I mean prelims, it's been asked regarding swamp deer ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮುಂಚೆ. That's why I just thought, okay, deer could be one of the favorite areas of UPSC. Let's not take a chance. What is the other name of swamp deer? Other name of swamp deer, which was asked 2-3 years back. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರೇನು swamp deer ಇದು? Okay, Bharasinga. Okay, Bharasinga. Bharasinga is the other name of swamp deer. Just remember, it is being asked in exam regarding that deer. So, moving on to one agriculture topic was there recently. We will see that. Now, this is quite important, and also it is kind of an awareness also. Tapioca or cassava plant. So recently, Central Tuber Crops Research Institute issued advisory on using parts of tapioca plant to feed cattle. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಅಡ್ವೈಸರಿನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಡುಕ್ಕಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇರಳ ಅಲ್ಲಿ where 13 cows died in a farm recently. Sudden agi there was a death of 13 cows, wherein this made the ICAR and that is Central Tuber Crops Research Institute, along with that ICAR and these two have issued a guidelines to how to feed animals. While feeding also, just because it is green, we cannot feed everything and anything to the cattle, right? So this is one good example for that. So what happened was, according to the reports, it said that Animal Husbandry Department officials said that the farming family provided tapioca hull to the cows. So what do you understand by hull? Within hours of 13 out of 22 cows died due to per acute cyanide toxicity. So ಈ cyanide ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ನಮ್ಗೆ toxic ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದು. So cyanide toxicity ಇಂದ 13 cows died. So ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು ಈ cyanide? Or what is the chemical? Does cassava becomes toxic to animals if they are fed like this? Which part of the cassava of the tapioca plant has to be fed? ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ವೈಸರಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಪಾಸಿಬಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್, ಇಂಡಿಜಿನಸ್ ವೆರೈಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, we have on the other side the death of the cattle. Lack of awareness would kill more cattle. So adu sudden agi ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ 13 cows ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is a great loss to the farming community. That's why this would be a really important topic. So we will see what happened exactly and what makes this toxic. Okay, anyway, some part of it is gone. So just give me a minute. So all parts of cassava, tapioca, leaves, stem, tuber, rind contain the compound called as cyanogenic glucosides, CNG ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಈ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇದು cyanogenic glucosides ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That is linamarin and lotostrilin, which are hydrolyzed by endogenous enzyme linamarase to acetone cyanohydrin. Need not break your head on this, just reading for the sake of it, ishtondu detail ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ. Which may break down spontaneously, liberating free hydrogen cyanide. Because this plant has cyanide qualities, features, so ishtu enzymes ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಈ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಸಯನೈಡ್ ನ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್. So both acetone cyanohydrin and free cyanide are toxic. In general, cyanide is toxic. You might have heard about it, right? The terrorists and all, they use this cyanide. So cyanide is toxic and it is naturally available like this. So it leaves contain about 10 times higher amounts of CNG than the roots. Leaves, roots kinta jaasti CNG. CNG is cyanogenic glucosides. So the rind contains 10 to 30 times higher cyanoglucoside content than the edible parts. So ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so tuber roots of non-bitter cultivars can be fed into the animals after peeling in the raw form. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ roots ನ ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನ ಕುಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಫೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಬಾರ್ದು, ಟ್ಯೂಬರ್ ಪೀಸಸ್ ನ ಹಾಕಬಾರ್ದು. We have to slowly cook it up and then we have to ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಕೊಡೋಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಕುದಿಸಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ, ಅಗೇನ್ in this two aspects are there. One is regarding cyanide itself, naturally how it is found, and one more thing is regarding tapioca. Tapioca is a very, it's like sweet potato. South India, especially in Kerala, it is a like kind of a staple food, tapioca. It kappa anta ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So boiling in water, slowly raising the temperature, sun drying, after all this 80 to 90% cyanide na remove ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Or else this was the condition. So these farmers were maybe amateur or inexperienced, though they are from the farming community, they just gave it off, cutting off the trees, and this is what happened. ಇದು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, what is the importance of this chemical, basically adar bagge. Okay, so just keep a tab on it. We may never know, questions can be asked from any area, that's why took it up. So we'll do one thing, I'll just correct the font, and meanwhile we can also take a break. We'll just take a break for 5-10 minutes, then we will continue. Okay. shall resume. So the next topic is under science and tech, that is phytocannabinoids. That is about cannabis, marijuana, or the weed, what we are talking about. So recently, Jammu Kashmir or Jammu's CSIR, scientists at CSIR, Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine as well, together, have found that phytocannabinoids is a class of compounds found in the cannabis plants possess some hitherto unexplored antibiotic properties. Because we already have heard that, or we know that, or by the studies that says that cannabis have, or the weed, what we call, right? Hope you already all know what is cannabis, right? So it has medicinal property, cancer curing properties and all that. Plenty of studies have been done already, but in India it is not legalized, only for experimental purpose, and it is listed under the narcotics department as well. So as of now, as the experiments are going on, the studies going on, it is also found out that cannabis plant have some antibiotic properties. So what are these phytocannabinoids? We will see. Cannabis has the potential to make a dent in the India's fight against the escalating threat of antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance is also equally important as a topic, because, or antimicrobial resistance, what we call. So this would create what we call as a paradigm shift in what we are struggling, not only India, in any other country, regarding antibiotic resistance. The study revealed that tetrahydrocannabinol obtained from cannabis could fight methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. That is, Staphylococcus aureus is a bacteria. Methicillin is a medicine. And first, in order to understand phytocannabinoids, it is better we understand what is antimicrobial resistance. So antimicrobial resistance is a major health concern worldwide. What does that mean? So when any bacteria, virus, fungi, or any parasite in our body or organism's body will not respond to any medicine, it is called as antimicrobial resistance. That is, basically, let's consider we are sick, we are ill, we take a lot of medicines, but this medicine is not working on us, it is not healing us. This is because the bacteria or the virus or the fungus, whatever, it is resistant to the medicine itself. So this is called as antimicrobial resistance. That would happen because of the various reasons, because of the overdosage of the medicines, right? Or certain times the exposure of the expired medicines in the open spaces, so that disease causing bacteria get immune to it, used to it. So when we consume, it is like, I already know you, right? That is the condition. So this is called as antimicrobial resistance. Now, because we have a compound called as phytocannabinoids, even though there are certain organisms which do have antibiotic resistance, it can be tackled. That is a sweeping statement given by Jammu CSIR lab. It has found out this with the study. So here, not only phytocannabinoids you have to keep into consideration, also focus on antimicrobial resistance. Even WHO will be having every year antimicrobial resistance awareness week. There is a program called as AWARE, 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 and there are a list of medicines which are antimicrobial resistant. All these are seen in news from the past few years. So still it is relevant, we can say. So this would create a dent in the sense that it could be a very important study for antimicrobial resistance that is in the news. So we will see the key points here. Cannabinoids are a class of compounds found in the cannabis plant. Okay, the prefix phyto means plant. That is why they are together called as phytocannabinoids. Wherever we see the word phyto, it refers to plants. Cannabinoids bind to receptors in the bodies of the animals to produce a variety of neurological effects. We know that cannabis provides neurological effects when it is consumed, the weed or the ganja, whatever we say, that is there. Apart from that, the researchers extracted cannabidiol from cannabis plant and made it react with hydrogen using palladium as a catalyst. It's an experiment. This process yielded a mixture of molecules with the same composition and order of atoms but different structures. One of them was THCBD. THCBD refers to, so when they saw all these experiments, when mixture is being conducted, it got different structures. One structure was THCBD. Why THCBD matters? What is it? We will see. THCBD refers to tetrahydrocannabidiol. Cannabidiol. It is a semi-synthetic phytocannabinoid. It's a compound basically. Okay, it's a compound. This compound has, because of these experiments they conducted, they understood, or we have understood that it has antibacterial properties against a particular bacteria, it is Staphylococcus aureus, the bacteria responsible for the second most number of deaths due to AMR. So already because of AMR, antimicrobial resistance, where the medicines are failing to work on human beings, people are dying because medicines are not working. One such bacteria is Staphylococcus aureus. So this particular phytocannabinoid can effectively work on this bacteria, which is causing death. And this would be a very landmark thing to be done by the study done in Jammu. That's why we are considering it. Not only the technical term phytocannabinoids, also as a general topic, antimicrobial resistance should be kept into consideration. Okay, this is what we have. The science and tech. Now, one more concept is also there, trichoderma or tricholemma or tricholyma. These words, again, out of the blue, considering one of the key factor in the entire article, they can pick and ask. We will see what is it, trichoderma. So IASR develops new granular lime-based trichoderma biopesticide fertilizer. We all know what is pesticide. What is this biopesticide? What is this trichoderma? We will see that. So IASR, sorry, the Indian Institute of Spices Research, Kozhikode, that is Calicut, has successfully in Kerala, successfully developed a new granular lime-based trichoderma formulation, a pesticide. Okay, so that has been recently done. So what is the property of this particular trichoderma? Trichoderma is a fungal biocontrol agent. So there is one technical term we received here, biocontrol. What is biocontrol agent? Biocontrol refers to wherein one organism is used to control the population of the other. One organism is used to control the population of the other. Let's say there are too many frogs, too many rodents in a given region. Introduction of snakes would bring down the population of rodents over there, because snakes predate upon rodents. So we call snake as a biocontrol. Getting it? So introducing one organism to control the population of the other is called as biocontrol in general context. Now we will see what is it here. What are they using as biocontrol? So trichoderma, a fungal biocontrol agent used for controlling a variety of soil-borne pathogens and lime into single product, making the application easier for the farms. So it is trichoderma, and the new product inide adu ondu in soil borne pathogens antandre eshto diseases plants ige soil indane baruvantadu, especially fungus. Bacterial infection can be treated in a way. Bacteria, virus and fungus are very, very difficult, especially for plants. Always it is fungal infection. So ಈ fungal infection treat ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ trichoderma introduce ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So according to the scientists team led by IASR Dinesh, the significance of this formulation lies in its ability to mitigate soil acidity and supply bioagents concurrently, ensuring optimal plant growth and nutrient uptake. Idu pesticide matra alla agi work madalla, plus idenanta andre ಒಂದು soil acidity na kammi maduvanthaddu. We have something called as soil pH, right? Or pH. Anything below 7 is acidic, anything above is basic. So certain plants require slightly acidic, certain plants require slightly basic. So the exceed adre enagutte, plant nutrient tagolokke kashta agutte. Idanna apply ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರೈಕೋಡರ್ಮಾ ಅಂತ. Some other features of this trichoderma or tricholine. The formulation was named as tricholine, integrates trichoderma and lime into a single product, making the application easier for farmers. So trichoderma is a fungal biocontrol agent which has proven effective in suppressing several soil-borne plant pathogens and serves as successful biopesticide and biofertilizer. We will see what is it. What is biofertilizer and biopesticide? Significance of tricholine. Why we need them or what is the significance of this? It can successfully eliminate the need for a time-consuming two-step process. Yake antandre lime na apply ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪುನಃ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಪೆಸ್ಟಿಸೈಡ್ ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮನ್ಸು. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಟ್ರೈಕೋಲೈಮ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರೈಕೋಲೈಮ್ ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಸಿಡಿಟಿನೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಏನು ಅಸಿಡಿಟಿನ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಮತ್ತು pathogens, disease causing agents ನು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. The formulations also benefit the crop by improving the physical condition of the soil, enhancing secondary nutrient availability and by boosting soil microbial activity. So IASR hopes that technology behind this product can also be extended to include other beneficial bioagents, opening new possibilities in product development to support sustainable organic farming. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಂಗಲ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಇದೆ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸೊ biopesticides are certain types of pesticides derived from such natural materials. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಏನು biopesticides ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ, because we have one I explained what is biocontrol already. What is biocontrol, right? One more is biopesticide. Meaning ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು word. Biopesticides are certain types of pesticides derived from such natural materials such as animals, plants, bacteria and certain minerals. For example, canola oil, ಬೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೋಡಾ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪೆಸ್ಟಿಸೈಡಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬಯೋಪೆಸ್ಟಿಸೈಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪೆಸ್ಟಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಯೋಪೆಸ್ಟಿಸೈಡ್. ದ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪೆಸ್ಟಿಸೈಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್. ಅದೇ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಬೇರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ವರ್ಡ್ ಈ ಬಯೋಪೆಸ್ಟಿಸೈಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ವಿತ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ or with reference to biopesticide consider the following statements. So ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ change interchange ಆದ್ರೂ definition change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So you should be careful with that. That is why we are learning about it. Okay, biopesticides. Then next news is some world affairs. In a historic milestone, India is set to take the reins as the chair of UNESCO's World Heritage Committee for the very first time. This is also a big news wherein India for the very first time next Barwanta session UNESCO World Heritage Committee. World Heritage in the sense we can relate it to World Heritage sites. So 46th session of UNESCO's World Heritage Committee will be held in India in July. So first time chairperson agi athwa chairperson agi India host ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಈ committee na. So this committee is all about how we choose or how we nominate World Heritage sites and importance to be given and all that. So that is why it is called as it is an historic milestone for India. So this significant responsibility underscores India's commitment to safeguarding and promoting the world's cultural and natural treasures. Adike idu important agutte. So India is hosting the upcoming World Heritage Committee, UNESCO's World Heritage Committee. We will see certain key points on this. So this World Heritage Committee is a cultural committee. It's a committee of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Idu yen madutte andre ee committee, it is responsible for implementation of World Heritage Convention, defines the use of World Heritage Fund and allocates financial assistance upon the request from the state parties. Iga esto heritage site galu India dalli ide, but all are not under UNESCO World Heritage sites. When it becomes a site, when it gets a global attention or when it is called as a World Heritage site, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಯುನೆಸ್ಕೋ ಇಂದ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಹೆರಿಟೇಜ್ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅವರ್ ಹೆರಿಟೇಜ್, ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಯುನೆಸ್ಕೋ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್. ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So it has the final say. E committee idenanta karitare, it has the final say on whether a property is inscribed on the World Heritage list. So e committee UNESCO ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಇದೇ ಫೈನಲ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಯಾವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಜಾಗಗಳೇ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದಿ ಚೇರ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಚೇರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ it would be a better advantage. Not to be biased or something. It is a thing not only about the prominence of India to be one of the chairperson of or the chairperson of committee itself. Apart from that, India is known for its rich heritage. So this also becomes a significant impact when it comes to tourism and other investment or direct investments. It examines reports on the state of conservation of inscribed properties and asks state parties to take action when properties are not being properly managed. So action ತಗೊಂಬೋದು. ಈ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಹೆರಿಟೇಜ್ ಸೈಟ್ ನ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಹೆರಿಟೇಜ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ ನಂತರ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಫಂಡ್ ನ ಕೊಡದೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಹೆರಿಟೇಜ್ ಸೈಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ. It also decides on the inscription or the deletion of the properties on the list, as I told you, on the list of the World Heritage in Danger. So deletion madutte, add maduvanthadella ondu authority irutte. So India has received it. So in upcoming session, India is the chairperson. That is a news. Okay, that is what we have. Now defense news. Ugram was in news. Maybe this you might have come across. It was quite prominent. So Ugram was recently launched by DRDO. There will be one defense news every week. You might have observed it. Okay, keep a tab on it and know what is it exactly. The Defense Research and Development Organization recently launched an indigenous assault rifle named Ugram. Okay, we'll see what is it. Key facts about it. Ugram is a state-of-the-art indigenous assault rifle. It is a rifle. Remember, you have to underline this word because, again, as I told you, one word can change the entire sentence. Ugram is assault rifle. It has been developed by Armament Research and Development Establishment. It is a unit under DRDO. It was developed in less than 100 days. That is its uniqueness. It has been developed as per the General Staff qualitative requirements of the Army into the consideration. Idishtu assault rifle ಮತ್ತು DRDO ಇಂದ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಏನು? The rifle will deploy rounds of 7.62 mm caliber, making it more ferocious than rifles that uses 5.62 mm caliber rounds, like the INSAS rifle. INSAS rifle anta ide Indiadalli, which is popularly used by armed forces in India, including paramilitary forces. Already namdu INSAS rifle ide, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it is more ferocious ಅಂತ ಉಗ್ರಂ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ferocious ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಉಗ್ರಂ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. It has an effective range of 500 meters. It weighs less than 4 kilograms. The rifle has 20 round magazine that fires robust and in full auto mode. This is a technical explanation, but idr jotege navu innondu ಏನು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ INSAS rifle already use ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು state of the art indigenously developed or assault rifle. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ you can see the image here. So INSAS rifle na paramilitary force ಎಲ್ಲ already use ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. This is an addition to the in the ಕರೀತಾರೆ battery of arms and ammunition ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Okay, next GI tag is miscellaneous, but still GI tag ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು question ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Okay, ನೋಡೋಣ. So from red ant chutney to black rice, the 7 Odisha products that have backed GI tags. Red ant chutney, I think we have seen in the last class, if you remember. So ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ GI tag ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ದ ಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ರಿಮೋಟ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, 7 products from Odisha ranging from Simlipal kai chutney. Simlipal the kai chutney. Kai chutney is nothing but that kai chutney alla ants, made out of ants, made with red weaver ants to be embroidered to the embroidered kapda ganda shawl. So already ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ, ಸಿಮ್ಲಿಪಾಲ್ದು ರೆಡ್ ವೀವರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಚಟ್ನಿ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ. ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತದ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೀ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಡ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ kapda ganda shawl. So kapda ganda shawl is worn by both men and women. We will see the features. It is woven and embroidered by the women of Dongriya Kond. Dongriya Kond tribe, remember the name? These are PVTGs of Niyamgiri Hills. Two no important first line. Yake antandre Niyamgiri Hills ಬಗ್ಗೆ recently news ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಯಾದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ? Deemed forest ಬಗ್ಗೆ. If you remember the previous sessions, you can recollect it. Niyamgiri Hills in Odisha. Odisha ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಂದ್ರೆ Odisha government had launched this announced that ನಾವು deemed forest ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನ ತೆಗಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಸೊ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪುನಃ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಶ್ಯೂನ. ಸೊ ನಿಯಮಗಿರಿ ಹಿಲ್ಸ್ ಒಡಿಶಾ ಈ ಜಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಸಿಮ್ಲಿಪಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನಂತದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ. ಸೊ ಕೀಪ್ ಅ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್. ಅಂಡ್ PVTG ಅಗೇನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೌ ವಿ ಸಾ ದಟ್ PVTG ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ರಧಾನ್ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಜನ್ ಮನ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪೆರಿಫರಲ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ರಿಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಟು ರಿಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು, ವೆನ್ ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಈ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಎಂಬ್ರಾಯ್ಡರ್ಡ್ ಶಾಲ್. Shawl reflects the rich tribal heritage of the Dongriya Kond tribe. Shawl is worn by both men and women, and Dongriyas gift it their family members as token of love and affection. So idu adaradu importance. Idu Odisha Niyamagiri Hills alli idana hakoltare. Okay, then we have Langia Sorpa painting. Iga ನಾವು ಎರಡು painting ಕಲ್ತಂಗ ಐತಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Sora painting and Sora painting, again it is of eastern India, various states. This is exclusively in Odisha. It is one of the oldest tribal art forms, also known as Idital. The artworks are famous for their beauty, aesthetics, ritualistic association, and iconography. It belongs to Langia Saura community, one more community, Dongra Kond, and one more is Langia Saura is a community name itself. Saurpa is a painting. So these paintings are in the form of exterior murals painted on the mud walls of homes. Horagade ವಾಲ್ ಮನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಲಾಂಜಿಯಾ ಸಾರ್ಪ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾಂಜಿಯಾ ಸೌರಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಈ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 62 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಡಿತಾಲ್. ಈ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ನ ನಾವು ಇಡಿತಾಲ್ ಅಂತಾನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 62 ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್, 62 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್ GI ಟ್ಯಾಗ್. ಓಕೆ, I know the names are very unique and unusual, but at least once if you see, try to read, look at the pictures and all, somewhere it is going to help you. Madhubani painting ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳುವಿದ್ದಾರೆ in prelims. So Koraput Kala Jeera rice, the rice which is black, Kala Jeera rice, the black colored rice variety also known as Prince of Rice, is famous for its aroma, taste, texture, and nutritional value. As the rice gains resemble cumin seeds, it is also called as Kala Jeera. Its consumption helps in increasing hemoglobin levels and improves metabolism in the body. So it is exclusively in the Odisha region. Kala Jeera rice GI tag kottidare, Prince of Rice anta karitare because of its rich nutrients. Then we have Nayagad Kantai Mundi brinjal. So a type of brinjal basically. It is known for its prickly thorns on the stems and the whole plant, totally different. And the green and round fruits contain more seeds as compared to other genotypes. It is famous for its unique taste and relatively short, quick cooking time. That's the importance ಏನಂತ. The plants are resistant to major insects, can be grown with minimal pesticide. So very unique, highly unique. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದನ್ನ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ GI ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅಂತ. Denkanal Magji is a sweet. Too many are there. You might have to, after bringing up this, once you receive the notes, all again go through it. ಒಂದು 10-15 ನಿಮಿಷ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. Okay, try to remember it. It is a type of sweet made from cheese from buffalo milk with distinct characteristics in terms of appearance, taste, flavor, shape, and size. It also has unique nutritional value that distinguish it from other cheese bread sweets. Okay, so this is about Denkanal Magji, and the last one being Odisha's Kajuri Guda. So it is a jaggery basically. It is a natural sweetener extracted from date palm trees and has its origin in the Gajapati district in Odisha. Traditionally, the jaggery is prepared in trapezoidal form called patali good, and it is organic by nature. It is dark brown and has unique taste. So, idu ishtu GI tags. Okay, jaggery, sweet, brinjal, rice, a painting, and shawl plus chutney. So, ishtu ee varsha sikkiruvanta GI tag ಅಥವಾ ಈ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರುವಂತ GI tag. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ there can be multiple products, but ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಡಿಶಾ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ PVTG ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ FRA ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ದ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ MFP ಮೈನರ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ MSP ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ MSP ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಇಂದಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸೊ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅರ್ನ್ ದೇರ್ ಲೈವ್ಲಿಹುಡ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತದ್ದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನ್ ಟುಡೇ ಸೆಷನ್ as many as topics possible minimum every week we'll be discussing 15 topics minimum 15 so or sometimes more than that. So every week when you are learning, make sure that you are revising, try to remember. You will gain more confidence of knowing that I know this. Okay. So superficially aginu kaliyad beda, in depth nu hogad beda. Ishtu gottidre. Okay. So this is what we have in today's session. So if you have any questions, you can ask, or else we'll wind up for today. Anything? Okay. So thank you so much. We'll meet in the next class. Keep revising. When you revise only, you can connect to the topics more. Okay, we'll meet in the next session. Thank you so much and take care.